Johnny Trotter here at Bargy Feedyard. We've been here at Bargy Feedyard for 37 years now, and it's a pleasure to have you here today.
Can you take me out and take me on a
Sure.
tour?
Yeah, it's a 7-day a week deal, 24/7. These cattle don't understand the days of the week or the viruses people might have. With coronavirus, everything's kind of teetering. Theoretically, every individual is looked at every day. And so when we've got to go through all these pens, we've got to ship all the cattle in the mornings. First thing that happens is we ship the fat cattle and they leave here, and then we have to take new cattle that have been processed to those pens and fill those pens up. So the cowboys take them down there, and then they start their day. When it gets daylight, then we go through each and every one of these pens and theoretically look at every individual.
Okay.
As they're doing that, and if anything's sick, they get them out and take them to the hospital, have them treated, and either return to the pen or leave them in the hospital until they're well, and then take them back to the pen. But then they when they do that, well, then you've got the process of taking them back out of the hospital to the pens again. So you're doing, those boys do a lot of cowboy in a day. They lots of horseback work.
And through the years, there's never been a better way to do it. That's always been the easiest way to get that done, is horseback.
Oh yeah, you can. There's a lot of different ways of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people walk these pens, but it's, by the time you take an operation like this and walking the pens, it's a pretty tough deal, and trying to do anything with them then too, and we got to take a bunch of new cattle back here half a mile, and then over here 1/4 mile to the pens. That's where everybody out doing that.
Tell me a little bit about why it's good for a horse. I mean, are they working on their horses too at the same time?
Oh yeah, a lot of these boys ride young horses all the time, and teach them that. It's the best place in the world to ride a young horse for a little while. Horses tend to get burnt out in here just doing the routine every day, and the ground's hard. It's hard on their feet, but of course we keep them all shod and take real good care of these horses. But I've got a place to turn them out. We rotate them in and out of here and turn them out and give them some rest, and keep them from getting so sour on their work. But we got some real good horses here. He's out of an own daughter dash for cash, and buy a horse named Ocean Runaway. We're gonna make a head horse out of him. He's about 6 years old now, but he's been cowboyed off of a lot, and he's a nice horse.
And the guys that are riding the pens looking for things, they've just got a trained eye.
Oh yeah, I tell them to look every one of those steers in the eye like you look at your dog in the morning. Whether your dog feels good in the morning when you get him up. If he doesn't look at you like he feels good, get him out of there and let's help him. I'm in the livestock business because I enjoy livestock, and whether it be good horses or good cattle or whatever, we don't do anything to abuse the livestock. Mm-hmm. That's not part of the deal.
What do you look for in a content cow? How do you know that they do feel good?
Look at that Hereford right there.
Mm-hmm.
She's happy. Full and laid down. Look here. They'll stand, if there's something wrong with them, they'll stand out there and hang their head down. You can tell.
Is there a breed of cattle that you're most keen on?
Well, everything's black now. Everybody likes black cattle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the packer has showed us by harvested cattle on a yield grade basis, that on a grid basis, that the black cattle return you more. A black Charolais cross is a really, really good cross. Cattle like this, they're great They're great. 60-70% choice. Those black nose Charolais right there, it doesn't get any better than that. They're as good as it gets.
And why?
Because they'll grade with that cross. They're exceptionally predictable about what they're going to gain, and they're real efficient gainers, and they're really good. You know, they'll get big. You can get that Hereford will get to weighing 12.5 real easy, 12.5, 13 real easy. Both those Herefords. Those are good cattle. But and then see, they're black nose, black hided, and they'll grade. They'll be those three right there will probably be certified Angus when they come. Even though they're Charolais crosses, they'll be certified Angus when you hang them up.
Interesting. And then what about taste, and is that what?
Oh, that's what if they're prime, if they're choice of prime, you love the taste, and the cutability, the whole deal will be good. So you can see the individual, they're 4179s, and that's that one right there is 8171. So he's an individual tag.
And that tells you.
Well, that tells you what lot he is, where he goes in age 13, but then when he goes to the and has anything done to him, that goes into the computer, and he's recorded. Everything's recorded that's done to him, as far as if he goes to the hospital and has a shot or anything about it.
Do you have to have a veterinarian on staff, or are you guys all pretty trained?
We've got a veterinarian, consulting veterinarian that spends 1 day a week here.
Okay. Do you separate heifers and the steers?
Yes. Yeah, they're fed differently because we have low humidity here, and it's in the arid climate. We have a mean temperature of about 70 degrees. So we have a couple 3 weeks during the winter that we'll get around sub-zero. A couple of weeks in June, July that we'll get over 100. Most of the time our weather, other than wind, is very, very good.
And tell me about the age for the cows here.
Most of them are nearly a year old when they come here, but the big deal is to have them marketed before they're 30 months old.
There's some that are eating right now. There's some that are laying down. They get free choice, or
yeah,
how?
Well, we feed them 3 times a day, and these cattle probably got up and ate the first time at 6 this morning, and so they've been fed twice for the day. And that bunch is nearly full of feed now, but they'll be fed again mid-afternoon. But the ones that are laid down, obviously, we've got up here and tanked up. They're laid down, filled up, and laid down now.
Can we stop and look at the feed real quick?
Sure. See, this is your steam plate corn right here. Here's alfalfa pellets. This is corn silage that you see here. That's another alfalfa pellet. And cotton burrs right here, ground cotton burrs.
And this is just the mixture you guys have come up with.
That's what the nutritionist tells us to do.
Okay.
We have to make a feed adjustment every day, so all these bunks are looked at twice a day. At 4:30, those bunk readers come in and run all these bunks and check and make a feed adjustment on every pen. And then that's going in the computer as the trucks are going out. Then there's a mem card goes into each truck, tells that truck what to feed and how many pounds to feed that pen. And then at the end of the feeding day, which is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we've got all the cattle fed. Those boys run the bunks again and be sure that everything's adequately fed for that day, or if they need a touch-up feed.
So, like if the cattle are standing around looking for more, or how do you?
Oh yeah, you want them to have adequate feed for the night when they leave here.
Okay.
So they'll make that, but they make that round to check that. But then there may be an add-on. You'll have a half dozen add-ons every day that they have to go back and add a little more to that feed. But we adjust that feed on a 2 pound per head basis up and down. And you want it consistently. consistent. You want those cattle eating 3% of the body weight, so they're going to be, a 900-pound steer is going to be 27 pounds, give or take 2 pounds. Or barometric pressure and weather has a lot to do with the intake on cattle. So you'll lose them one day. You'll have to clean them up. You'll have to cut them way back and clean them up and add more feed to them the next day. You want them to clean up. Theoretically, what you want is that bunk to be slick in the morning when that boy reads it. But what we do is this route here, these boys that feed from C alley over here to G. So you want to leave a little feed over there so that by the time he gets there, they're cleaned up. Cattle be up trying to eat. By the time he gets there, he feeds them just about the time they clean up.
And the quantities being monitored inside the truck.
That box is sitting on scales.
Okay.
And that's metering that off in there.
To somebody who is not connected to this industry, ranching and cattle industry, how does this relate to them?
We do everything in sync with producing a wholesome product for the industry. And when you talk about us marketing 200,000+ cattle a year, the pounds of beef that leave here is an astronomical figure, that goes into the food chain.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got to be. We have a nutritionist that's here once a week, spends a day here once a week. We have a veterinarian that's here once a week. We have packer buyers that are here one day a week, and then the trade happens during the week, obviously. But we've had, of course, samples. We sample feed. We sample commodities coming in. Everything's pretty stringent. One thing we haven't talked about is that we feed the cattle 3 times a day. The feed goes on those feed trucks and is measured. Those feed trucks are on scales. Have scales that's in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
The feed is measured into the feed bunk, and it's radio transmitted into the office to where we don't have to have feed cards. They don't have to print the cards and all that stuff. But it's a pretty sophisticated program. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just you don't just dump a bunch of feed out there and put the cattle on it and take them off. It's pretty sophisticated.
And then is this the beef that's going to end up in our grocery stores?
Absolutely.
So right now we're having this conversation during an interesting time where folks are paying more attention to what is available and what's not available as far as meat. Do you think it's good that people are taking a look and understanding maybe a little bit more where their food and their meat's coming from?
Sure, it's good. I mean, we sure don't have anything to hide. I mean, we produce a valuable, wholesome product, and the FDA is there to be sure we do that. And we're in compliance with the FDA with everything we do. What's rewarding is you bring these cattle in. We're a lot different operation we're an independent operation. Most feed yards this size bring yearlings in, feed them, and market them with the packer. I run a lot of cattle with individuals on an outside on pasture programs and things. So what the gratification of the deal is watching those little cattle perform well on pasture, bring them into the feed yard and see them perform well in the feed yard, and then have them perform well at the packing house.